luckily, my father-in-law, very nice, lent me $5,000 to upgrade, to pay for COV. Nowadays, the COV is 20, 30, 40,000. I do not know where the young couple find the money, you know. Really, nowadays, I really don't know where to find. But that's why I find it very interesting, right? I've been in business for so many years, right? I've seen that COV is minus, plus 5,000, 10,000. But now can be 100,000, but people still can one, you know. Right? Don't know where the money come from, right? But is it normal? Yes, of course it's normal. But to me, of course, end of the day here, because of all this journey that I've gone through, right, allow me to understand how to actually buy property at the right time. At the same time, also allows me to see how people have grown their asset through using their saving or their money they have. Sometimes we work so hard, but end of the day, what happened? You only work hard for money, but you never work hard for yourself. Because why? Because I conduct seminars for 2 days workshop. The doctor come and see me, say, Kelvin, I treat until I'm so tired, but I forgot to treat myself. Because I forgot to treat my own property. But luckily, I mean, doctors still got money lah. But of course, if the doctor work hard with assets, I tell you, his money even more, right? But unfortunately, right? But I say no choice lah. Times has gone, misgone. You cannot look back one. You can only what? Move forward, right? So this is something that I just want to share with you. This is my current assets I own. For me, I started since 2004. I started to buy properties here and there, and I buy and sell one because why? If I work hard, I cannot save money one, right? But for me, these are some of my assets. I just bought the second landed property today under my wife's name. But I'm sharing all this not because I want to show you how much I have, no. But I just want to show you one thing. Actually, whatever I do, there is a strategy. There is a formula. There is a way to do it. There's a way to grow. But if people don't understand this, you do not know how to grow. The truth of the matter fact, if you want to Google, you can find me. I started from a HDB forum, and I was a telemarketer earning $7 an hour that time. If I can do so much thing in my life, I believe that many people sitting here can do more things in my life. That's the reason why I say I'm very confident to tell you guys here, right? It's about how much you want. It's about how much you're willing to grow this current, your asset, elevate your asset so that your future what? Your net worth will be higher. In fact, I just bought this standard. The value is only $13 million, but I only bought it at $10.2 million. But what I'm trying to say here is, why is it like that? Because of what? Time. Timing is very important. That's why in the newspaper, it was being featured because I do a lot of seminars for people, teaching people how to build their properties. This is something that I do. Last May, I did it in MBS. The next one is 19th and 20th of October. For any of those people who are here, please check with your agents here whether you want to join me in my 2 days workshop. This 2-day workshop will definitely guarantee you, if you feel that it's not good enough, you can ask me, I return you the money. But I'm quite sure my value is worth more than that. Because you guess how much this cost worth? Cost how much? Huh? What is that? $500. Anything higher than $500? Sorry? $5,000? $5,000, very good. Oh, you see how many people? 1,000 people here. Wow, right? So many people because why? Only $97. Then you all say, Kelvin, is it later on to upsell or not? Huh? I can guarantee you, no upsell. Sure, net price, net. Still got something else special. You go UTEP can get 50% discount. It's $40 over. My textbook for you already $50. My textbook given to you for the 2 days is $50. Because what you need to do work, right? $50. So the reason why I do this workshop is because I truly feel that people should really know exactly how to build your network. I have my own agent who attended one of my workshops. He owned a house, she's 59 years old, she told me, Kelvin, after listening to you for 1 day, I feel so sad. Because my value is only $1 million. And immediately after that, she changed to a 4-room already. Hey, good or not? Actually, I'm happy for her because why? End of the day, you see, people start to realize this. Don't wait until last minute. You know, my workshop, the whole family come, 20 years old also come. The children also come, why? I say, why you bring them here? They cannot do anything. You see, let them learn. Let them get to have exposure and learn. Because I only want to teach people one thing. How do you actually build your net worth? How do you build cash flow assets? Because why today, just to let you know, if I don't want to work, I also can because why the cash flow is already there. But what I'm trying to say here is because I enjoy real estate so much. That's the reason why I believe that how you can start at the right way, slowly to advance, and slowly you can retire with a good net worth. Can you imagine just now, 2.45 million, or you just imagine yourself, the person who is a HDB flat. If 19 years ago, if this 19 years old person, a 19-year-old, the agent, the customers, right, if you really do something, he today will be worth more than the money. He don't even need to come out any money at all. That's the truth. But unfortunately, things doesn't work this way, right? Right? That's the reason why for those people who really want to understand, do join us in this coming workshop. Anyway, we only conduct twice a year only. If you're interested, just let your agents know, he can actually advise you. Next, I want to talk about timing. Just like I talk so much, right? It's basically I'm going to share with you about timing. How do we look at timing? There's two things that we talk about. What's called leading, what's called lagging, right? Leading is what? That means you know early. Lagging means what? You're really late, right? When you know it, everybody, all the headline, all show already is called late. Depends on what kind of headline you like to see, right? So, why today I want to talk about this is because I want you to know how do I determine what is called leading, what is called lagging indicators in the real estate market. So, of course, the first thing that we talk about here, which Chun Ting has already talked about interest rate, but I'm going to talk about interest rate in respect to property. How does interest rate talk about what? Market. So, should I wait? I think a lot of people say, Kelvin, just now rates next year already, right? Interest rate next year will drop more, right? Correct or not, Chun Ting? Interest rate next year will drop more? Drop more, right? So wait until next year then buy again. Is it better? Right? Right? A lot of people say, Kelvin, since the interest rate is coming down, why do I want to hold on to an interest rate now? If I hold on to the interest rate now, today what? I will holding on to a high interest rate. I might as well wait until next year interest rate come down, then I buy. True or not true? Yes or no? Correct or not? Don't know, right? Right? That's why I'm going to show you, right, how it works here. So, first, let's understand market sentiment. A lot of people like to talk about market sentiment. Market sentiment means called what? Emotion. Emotion, is it something that you can control one? Cannot. But I'm a very logical person because I always look at what? Facts, numbers. Because my numbers doesn't lie. But how do we look at it? If you look at this, these are all what? Good news or bad news? Singapore home sales down 72%. Middle East fire. This one, the interest rate high. Economy only grow 1.2%. So when you see this kind of news, is it a good news? No. Is it a good news? It's always a bad news, right? So when you see this kind of bad news, will you buy property? Oh, not bad. Thank you so much for those people on the left-hand side, right? So at least you know that you will, right? This side said no, right? Then you see this kind of news, good or not? Singapore private home rise by 10.6% in 2021. Right? Singapore bustling 2024. Wow, Singapore private home rise 3.3. When you see this kind of newspaper article, what do you think? Chong, right? Because why this is the best time to what? Sell. Wow, smart then. Wow, you're smart, right? Sell, right? But a lot of people like to buy what? Buy good news. That's what I meant by you are really late. By the time you see all the big news here, means you are what? You are late. And this type of time, right, when you see this news, the customer will say, hey customer, Kelvin, faster, if not, next time I cannot really. Do you know why? The next time the price will go higher. But the market down, people will say that. You see the previous article, right? They will say, wait for the price to come down. They say this kind of article, they say what? Wait for the price to what? If I don't buy now, the price will what? Go higher. You know who is the biggest stirrer in the real estate market or not? Don't say it's me. It's definitely not me. I'm not so capable. You know who? Our property agent. Wow. You are right also. If we are so powerful can already, then our volume of transaction last year will not be 6,000. Right? We can never fight with who? Media. You see, next year you start to see all the media will turn positive. Yeah, next year. This year will be negative. Next year will be positive. So I'm saying, right, next year positive, you see what happened? People will rush already. Right? So what is called leading, what is lagging? If you look at this, what happened? Ayo, Kelvin, got problem right? Correct or not? You see this side, what happened? Normally when we see this side, we say, wait a while, see how is it. But people like to see, faster, faster. Wow, go there. Correct? When you see this side, this one day, your kanchong really, actually a human are very easily fall into emotion trap, especially during balloting that time. Wow, everybody kanchong really. Wow, you don't get the unit, wow, that kind of, before ballot, budget just like that. During ballot, budget can change one. Because why? Worry high already, right? When you are very excited and you don't buy also you cannot, right? But is it normal? I've seen so many and I've witnessed so many times, right? How it actually works. But I always tell people, if you look at this, does not mean it's a bad thing, right? I have one friend last time who walked by property, he said, Kelvin, one whole stretch, nobody buy one. I said, you want to wait until you are the last one to sit on top, then it's good? Maybe not, right? Now is the best time to do what? Buy good things at a good facing. What do I mean by that? You see, this Pastor said, was launched in 2021. 2021 is a very, very good year. Very, very good year. You see the price from day one, morning, all the way until $2,000. Chong, 1,200. If you see the developer, one day so many people waiting to buy a property, right? You think they will increase price or reduce price? Oh, you don't take opportunity to use their knife sharper, right? They will feel very lousy. So they will do this. But when you see that your show flat, all the units haven't sell yet, right? You see the developer there to reduce or increase price. You'll be more one. Do anyhow increase price. Is it human being or not? Is developer same as us? We actually the same, We just need to understand how human being think, right? You already know how to buy property already. Because why? We are all equal one, we are the same one. Just that our emotion always jam us. That's the reason why today I want to share with you more things, because why? I want to share with you not about anything, it's all about what? Factual. Right? If you look at this, 23% units sold at Sora in Jurong Lake District. If you saw this, what happened? Do you want to buy? 23 means what? Sure will drop price. Wait. But if you see 80%, you say what? I miss it. Is that one? Is it normal? Right? Look at this, Florence Residences. 54 sales done in the weekend. That means the lodge only sell for 54 out of 1,004 units. You see what? Cannot buy this type of houses. But this 54 owner is the most smartest owner in the market. Because why? Because he's the smartest. Because they dare to buy when people have fear. In fact, I remember this development very well because the first queue number is Fong next one. Overall, all the other companies, Fong next, the number one customer decided not to buy. So hard to be number one. And he dropped the number one. I just cannot accept why he dropped. Today, he will realize, I made the wrong decision because why? Because the price has changed so much. Just for you to know, right? If you look at this stack 46, which is here. One is what? 2019, they bought at 1.389. 2022, how much they bought? 1.688 million. How much difference? 291,000. Actually, the floor level is only two level different. But the developer made extra 300,000 more. Why? In fact, it's the lower floor that's more expensive than the higher floor. It's like that one. Later I'll show you another more interesting example, right? But why? Most important, I want to tell everybody, do you know 2019 what is the year now? COVID, you know how to predict COVID. 2019 haven't COVID yet? No. COVID is 2020 yet. Why not July though? Why? Right? 2019 is what? You know our 2019 interest rate was how much? 3.2% and we were low, right? And 2018, that is the cooling measure. When you see cooling measure and you see interest rate, what happened? Siam, right? Correct now. When interest rate come down, what happened? Chiong liao, right? That's why I'm saying, why 54 units sold? Because 54 units sold is because why? Interest rate is high. How to buy? Cooling measure, wait for the price to come down. But eventually, you see, 2022, 2021 was a very good year, right? But 2021 is so good year, it lasted higher to 2023. So when 2021 is the best year, he pushed up the price, and the developer has sold most of the unit. You think he will lower his price to sell to you? Won't, ma? But why customer will still buy 1,006? Because he knows one thing, if he don't buy today, what's our mass market price today? For a 3-bedroom, mass market per square foot. Average now is how much? Now rental is already $2,000, right? Everywhere in the mass market is already how much? $2,000 per square foot is a norm. I say if I still don't pay this $1,600 per square foot, I already lose $300,000. If I wait further for 1 more year, I will lose how much? Another $300,000. Total his loss is how much? $600,000. So why every unit will still sell? Because no choice, right? In fact, you look at the pool facing one in 2019. This pool facing versus this facing behind. Which one do you choose? That's why, right? Just now I show you a lot of unit not sold. Does not mean it's bad, you know. That means you can buy good unit at what? Remember, developer initial will give you very good price, right? But when they sell until 80%, will be different story. Your price will be higher. But why is it people will still buy? And I mentioned to you, because they already know the upcoming project, how much are they selling? They already selling cheaper by 300,000. They know that you will still buy, right? That is how it works. So you must understand how the developer works, how you understand prices, then you know when is the best time to look at assets. That's why you see those who bought in when? Those who bought in 2019, 2020, COVID, you see, all their profit is how much? 500,000-600,000. And mainly are the 3-room or 4-room, you see, make the most money over here. Right? Can you imagine you are one of them? So, next, there are 3 indicators, right, to determine whether is it the right time or not. First, interest rate, GDP, and population. 3 things I'm going to touch on today. So, if you look just now exactly what you are showing, will show you this, right? If you look at this, you must take note. You must take note of this, right? You know that our Fed has just dropped 0.5%, right? Does not mean that our SORA today will drop 0.5, you know. No. Currently, the SORA is still almost dropped only slightly, a little bit, 0.1, 0.2 only, no. Right? Will it drop immediately? No. But I want you to know one thing. See clearly. That's how I mentioned, right? You see, when interest rate is low, what happens? When interest rate is low, that time people want to buy more property, right? When there is more demand, right, will it cause more people want to buy? When the interest is low. That's why in COVID period, right, what happened? Most people buy property because why? Interest rate is low. But I want to show you one thing, just like I mentioned to you here. In 2019, this point, that is where the interest rate is what? Just like I mentioned, 3.2%, right? Correct? When it's still high that time, right, did the interest rate straight away fall all the way down? Never. See clearly, it takes how long to slowly drop? From 2019 quarter 2 until quarter 3 2020 before it reached the 0 button, which is here. Then the 0 will reach all the way here. Then before it go higher. So, what must you understand? So if you look at here, those people who choose to buy when people don't buy, what happened? Today they see their property is at which level? This way. Why? You see, this is the part. Where the interest rate is low, the demand goes up. Correct or not? Is it true or not? Most of us will buy property when the interest rate is what? Low, right? When the interest rate is low that time, right, there will be more demand. Property price up and down, it depends on what? Supply and what? Demand, right? When there's a strong demand, what happens? If you're the seller today, right, will you sell cheap or not? No, same thing. So if you look at this, the person, this is something I want to show you, right? This is the point. Just like I mentioned, is the interest rate 3.2. This is the time people will say, Kelvin, I wait until the interest rate fall until down, then I start to buy. You realize one thing. This is a 3-room and Whistler Grand. I take an average from here point until the quarter 3 2020, the price increased by $140,000. This is talking about average now, may not be equal for all units here, but on average it's already $140,000. Just now I show you, right, when the interest rate was this way, right, then it becomes 0 flat all the way until COVID, right, before it goes all the way upwards. But during this flat, again, causes what? Demand. So when you create a demand, what happened? Now the price increase again. So do you realize one thing? When we wait for the interest rate is drop, right? Everyone is the same one over here. We all wait for interest rate to drop. Then the demand goes up. When the demands go up, what happened? Did the price come down? No. It's obvious one. You see from here, right? Next. If you see from here, next example, sterling. Same thing. Q1 2019 to here. Same thing. A 2-room almost 90,000. Wait for it to be flat, another increase of another 96,000, which means that the total come out how much? 200,000. Is it true? Is it normal? That's why I just now show you the timing, right? Timing is important. Very important. In fact, why am I talking about this? Exactly to echo what Shun Dick has mentioned. Just now Shun Dick said, next year interest rate will even more. So can you imagine, we are now at a tip. We are at a tip, right? In fact, just for your information, in January 2023, right, our interest rate was at 4.25 fixed home loan. Today, our fixed home loan has dropped until 2.7%, right? Correct now? How come our interest rate, our Fed just announced only, but our fixed home loan can drop from 4.25 to 2.75? Because the bank already know what is going to happen coming forward. They already know the interest rate will come down. What they do now is to make you buy the house, they will lock you for the what? Lock you for 2 years. But doesn't matter. There's always a very good package at different point of time that you can get. Rather than wait, why can't I just maybe take a loan that I can restructure my loan after 1 year? Can you later on change to a SORA rate? Rather than you go and buy a property, end of the day you pay more later, and you still, yes, you earn your interest rate lower, but what's the point when your prices, you pay 200,000 more? Does it make sense? It does not make sense, right? That's the reason why I want you to know, every one of you to know, we are at the tip of the interest rate that is starting to come down. This is important for all of you to understand. Just a very simple, just now I show you. This is phase what? Phase what? Phase the pool, right? This one phase what? Phase what? This is a very special rubbish bin. And only stack 11 you can see face very directly to the rubbish bin. This rubbish bin costs 300,000 more than anybody else. Because why? You look at the pool facing. The pool facing they bought at 1.33 million. The behind facing faces the dustbin pay 1.61 million. Why? Because of timing. Because of the interest rate from the tip drop all the way downward, and at what? You pay more. Remember, when interest rate fall, the next thing happen is what? The demand will goes up. So when the demand goes up, what happen? Property prices will this way. This is not I say one, this is real one, because you see from the chart, you can understand very clearly. My job is to tell you how it works. Your job is to analyze and think through what I say, is it logical or not? But why is it again this customer willing to pay dustbin for this price? Because I told you guys already, but this is a special dustbin that you cannot find in any other condo. Right? That's the difference, right? I'm not joking, right? But you see, why the customers still buy? Very simple. Like I mentioned to you just now, if I don't buy, I know that I'm going to buy another 3-room will be at $2 million. I already lost 300,000. If I'm going to wait for until another new launch comes, I got to top up 700,000 extra just to buy a unit that's not facing the bin. Does it mean that this facing the bin doesn't make money? It will still make lesser. Today the average price of treasure now is about $1,800 per square foot. But who make the most? This one. The one who dare to buy when people dare not buy the time, today they make the most. In Singapore context, the good news to tell everybody, all properties will eventually make money. Just that you buy at which point you make the most or make the less of it. That's all, right? That's why you are at the tip of what? The interest rate. You are at the tip. It will have some time for you to drop. Singapore is like that one. People, there is always a what? A delay effect. So the delay effect is for who to see? Is whether you want to be early, you want to be leading, or you want to be lagging. I'm quite sure second half of the year next year will be a very good year. things will be very promising, right? Positive one. When everything is positive, the next thing that you start to realize is market will start to move again. So you have to see what is suitable. That's why you look at this development in Florence, right? 2019, right? Those who bought today, who sold at how much? 1,009, 1,008. The one that I shared with you just now, 54 units sold, right? This is what happened. When people have fear, that might not be the bad thing. It's because they dare to, right? Same thing, I just give you an analogy, right? On this is something one of my agents shared with me here, right? In fact, he's here, right? He shared with me this Grab. It happened that day, wow, shocked me also. Hey, Grab also, everybody take Grab one. A lot of us take Grab before, right? I believe our Singaporeans should take Grab before, right? We also know that Grab got peak hours, right? Have, right? And he just shared with me one thing. During peak hours, then the Grab will turn on one. Yeah. Then when you turn on that time, what happened? Your price also turn on, right? But end of the day, you pay more. Because of the disruption recently, right? I never believed that from Punggol to Sunshine Plaza cost $69. I first time see taxi so expensive in Singapore, you know, $69, right? Why? Because peak period. It's again, why am I sharing with you, everybody? It's all about demand and what? Supply. So when there is a strong demand, there is no supply, what happened? Price went up. It's the same as our interest rate as well. So if you can understand how interest rate work, you will know exactly when is the best time to look at asset for you to decide, right? Very simple. So next, GDP is also another thing that you should be understand. Why GDP is so important? When interest rate fall, the next thing can happen is what? People will have, when GDP increase means what? More people spend money. When people spend more money, because why? They felt what? Comfortable. They feel that everything become more easy for them. So when GDP increase, what happened? Right? So you see from here, you see COVID, our GDP is what? Minus 3.9. In 2021, our GDP is what? 9.7. Last year, our GDP is 1.1. This year, expected to be 2 to 3%. Like just now, Shruti also mentioned, next year should cross above 3%. So how does GDP actually in relationship with real estate? Same thing, if you look at this. In 2019, just now I already mentioned to you, 2019 was the year of what? Interest rate high. Cooling measure in 2018. So same thing, you realize one thing is here. And the GDP is only 1.3. When it's 1.3, what happened? Still slower. Then followed by COVID, minus 3.9. So can you imagine those people who bought 2019 and 2020, right? Wholesale one. Best time. Anybody close any 2 eyes or 3 eyes, all no problem. All will make money. Because the time is nobody there to buy. But you look at 2021, our GDP is what? 9.7. You see, realize not? When the GDP goes up, the next thing goes up is what? Property price. Why? Because the market is good, people want to buy. And when interest rate is low, people want to buy. So you see, when everything goes up into demand, the next thing happen is what? The market will start to move upwards. Can you imagine from 2019 all the way to 2022, right? Just these 4 years, look at the price per square foot has jumped to $500 over per square foot. Just because the interest rate market slow down, the next thing happen is what? Property price move plus GDP. It's normal because why? That's why the Fed actually wants to increase interest rate because to curb spending, correct? So when now the inflation come down to below 2%, right? What happened? So they want to drop the interest rate, right? Actually, inflation and interest rate is just a cycle. I can tell you, next 2-3 years, where everything goes, inflation go up again, then will jerk the interest rate go up again. So every time it's always a what? Cycle one. So that's why I'm trying to tell everybody one thing. If you are here today, you are very good because what I'm going to show you is exactly what I'm trying to tell you here. We are at the tip of the interest rate that is only starting to drop. So it's whether you want or you do not want to move forward. And they also expected our GDP next year, Singapore GDP 2024 may exceed official range. We don't know yet. But like what Sudhir has mentioned, because the the F1 or whatever here and there has become more promising. Will the market become better? I do not know. Wait till you will start to see it more coming. Alright, next, supply demand. Supply demand. Our government has actually increased the population to 6.04 million. Just to let everybody know, in the last 3 years, you know our population increased by how much? Wow, our population increased almost 600,000. Is it good or not good? When population increased that time, right, what does it mean? They need what? House. So when they need houses, right, do we have enough houses? This is the next question, right? But we all must understand one thing. Why government need to increase population? We all know, right? Aging population. Because if Singapore continue not to increase population, what happens? The economy will fall. When the economy doesn't do well, what happens? It will actually be detrimental to all of us here. So the only way to do so is to what? Increase population here. So, and just this for those people who understand white paper, right? White paper says what? Either scenario 1, 6.5, scenario 2, 6.9. I think 6.9 won't happen in 2030, right? Alright, so probably I'm quite sure 6.5 million should be the target already. Why? Because if you look at it, we are actually 2024, they are targeting for the year 6.07 million. Now we are at 6.04 million. Haven't ended yet, right? By right, huh? Right? So are we on track? So it's very clear cut, the government plan is very simple. And now with all the infrastructure is all ready that time, right? What will happen? Definitely it's the time to increase the population. If those people who remember there's 1 year election when our infrastructure is not ready, a lot of people complain what? MRT is very cramped, right? That is the year where our votes was not the best vote, if you remember. But what is important for you to understand means what? Average per year to grow until this number 6.5 million, right? We need to increase the population for about 76,000. So 76,000, is it possible? This year already hit 120,000. So based on 76,000, is it their target? This is for you to see. But the most important you must understand, population is always related to real estate. When the population increase, what is next is our property prices. Why? Just like I mentioned, right? When the population increase, what do they need? Houses. So how do we look at this? Now, a lot of people say, Kelvin, now there's so many unsold supply. Are we currently facing oversupply issue? Is it true or not? People also talk about this, right? But you must understand this. Our population, definitely household size now has down until 3.09. Down to 3.09. That means if let's say for example, 70, just I mentioned, right, for the next couple of years to increase to 6.5 million, right, we need about 76,000. If based on 76,000, we need how many houses? Based on per household size of 3.09, right, we need easily about 24,000 houses to accommodate 76,000 of people generally, right? So, are we enough? Let's see further. If you look at today unsold supply, we have how much? 20,000. In 2019, our unsold supply is how many? 36,000. So in 36,000 today, we can sell all the way downwards. Now we are just back to 20,000. But the question is, are we oversupplied? Let's see. On average, Singapore 10 years average is about average new launches to be selling away. Is about average 8,000 over here. 8,000 over here. But good news is, last 2 years only sell 6,000 over here. This year we probably hit also 6,000 as well. But just to highlight to everybody, I want to show you one more extra thing for you to take note and learn, right? Volume of transaction is also an indicator. Why? So when market is no good that time, right, will people buy property? So will the volume be high or low? Low, right? So you see, when 2021, our volume of transaction for new launches, you know how many? 13,000. 13,000 units sold. Can you imagine now only 6,000 over units sold? Why? Higher interest rate, right? Plus cooling measure. All this will slow down people from what? Upgrading. In fact, I want to tell everybody here, a lot of upgraders in the market today haven't upgraded yet. Why? Because who want to upgrade when the interest rate is high, true or not? But when the interest rate fall, will it has a demand for this upgrader to move forward? Sure have one. Sure have. So when there is a demand for this upgrader again, the volume will goes upward. So you look at here, 2141516. Those who buy, it's also a good chance to beat. 2008 also same thing, volume was very low because labor crisis. And the last 2 years, again, history will repeat itself. This is going to be the third year. That's why I want to tell every one of you here, next year, 2025, I personally believe it will be a fantastic good year for the market, for the real estate market. But you don't wait until next year, December, then want to buy. Because I think chances you won't be buying cheap. And don't end up buying the special one, right? When you have a choice, better choose a good choice. Don't wait for the not so good choice, right? If you can. But the most important I want to share with you here is, are we having supply issue? In fact, 2025, our number of private units that is going to TOP is only 5,300 units that will receive key. Means what? Would there have enough supply? In 2023, our number of TOP was 19 over 1,000. So can you imagine next year? You know, right? During during the COVID period, right? Why property prices increases, especially the resale market? Why? Because the construction was delayed, right? When there is a delay and there is not enough supply, what happened? Did the property price went up? Yes. Same thing. Next year there is only 5,300 units. That's going to be what? TOB, right? Following by what? 2024, our HDB MOB also has what? Came down. That's the reason why our government is increasing the supply. If not, there will be, now it's really very stressful. Our HDB keep on going up. Don't know when is the time you hit the $2 million for a 5-room HDB flat. Correct, no? So if they don't do anything more, right, what will happen? The HDB prices will continue to what? Goes down. So can you imagine? Now, supply is it. That's why I want to share with you here. What will happen in 2025? First, interest rate fall. When interest rate fall, what will happen? With an improved GDP, what happened next? With the population increase, what is next? When the private TOP supply has dropped to 5,700 units, HDB MOP dropped to 7,004. With all this so-called happening next year, what will be the market? So all of you must understand, for those people who have the intent to buy something, right? You have to start thinking, when is the best time for you? To me, next few months down the road will still be flat one. Next few months, flat. Why? Because people are still observing. But you have a chance to get what? Good choice units, right? So you have to think carefully. So do not let your emotion really what? Affect your decision. So make sure you have your facts. Today, I just want to show you all the facts that you need so that you understand. Now, I want to just go through the last part called the price gap analysis, right? What do I mean by this? Next time, if you really want to buy a property, what are the things that you want to look out for? First, I just want to share with you this development here, Mayor Blue. This is a freehold, right? Actually currently launching. But I just want to tell you here, if you want to buy something, today you must understand not about just Mayor Blue. If you happen to be interested, you can go and take a look. But most important here is about price gap. How do you actually select a property based on price gap? And that is important, right? Just for example, I take an example for you to see. Look at Mayor Blue. Basically today, right, this development, there is only one particular freehold development that is faces the sea, faces the city, faces the landed view, is totally unblocked. And in order to so-called to have another freehold property that faces the sea, you need to wait for other en bloc to happen. Just now Ismail also mentioned one thing. To en bloc, is it easy? Not easy. In fact, it is so difficult, right? And you look at today there's an opportunity. Last time, right, when we buy a new launch, like for example, One Amber is an older project, right? Amber Park was actually a new launch in 2019. That time when the new launch and the resale, normally when a new launch was launched, right, versus a resale property, normally is there a gap? Cannot be the resale and the new launch is the same price, right? It won't be, ma. But in the past is like 50%. You know what? Today, this Amber Park and Continuum, right, which is also under so-called still have a new launch ongoing, haven't sold out yet, right? The price gap now has dropped to how much? $14, which is 0.5%. The gap. But what do you need to understand from here? That means today a resale and so-called Amber Park, just TOP not long, the price gap has narrowed until only 0.5%. And this Amber Park owner can still make money despite the first owner who bought 50%. Today they are still making what? Good profit margin as well, right? Why? Because in Singapore market, right, you must understand one thing. People buying behavior has changed. They all are looking at new development. That's why people are still paying, for example, Amber Park, easily above what? $3,000 per square foot. Today, resale. And today, I want to tell everybody, right? Freehold versus 99 in Asia. Freehold versus 99 in Asia. The gap has also what? Last time used to be 24. Last time 99 and freehold normally is about 20 to 30% gap. Correct, no? For those people who understand, right? So now the gap has narrowed to 5%. Which means what? Freehold has been an opportunity for people here. And District 15 freehold versus Asia freehold. You see the gap has what? 2%. District 15, Asia. District 15 and Asia 99, the gap is also 6.5. So which means what? The freehold now seems to be a bit what? Undervalued, right? By right should be higher, man. Nobody want to sell freehold at a lower price or sell the same price as 99, right? Doesn't make sense, right? And is it safe to enter and safe to exit? Let's look at this, right? Like I mentioned to you just now, this is the only one plot that is Mayer Blue. The rest currently are all the old M block, all the old houses that is condo, but their current selling price has hit $1,009, $2,000, $1,008, $1,008, $1,008, $1,008. This M block price is $1,006. Can you imagine next 3, 4 years or 5 years down the road, if this guy were to M block, how much would they M block? How much would be a freehold property at that point of time they will be selling? So that's why I'm saying, right, it's all about what? Supply and demand. That's why today Amber Park, even though it's a resale, it is also selling at $3,000 in the market. And of course, it's so hard to get a freehold that is near to MRT, right? You have a chance to own that, right? Then of course, look at this development, live at MB, 99 years, same area. The price has 2004 all the way to what? 2009. In 99 years, people paid $2,900. Next time must they sell at $3,000 over dollars, right? So when they want to sell $3,000 that time, right? Your freehold property, is it sounds cheap or not, right? Then look at Amber Park resale, 3,000, 2008, 2007. All this will eventually must sell at how much? 3,000 and above. And look at this one Mayer, 2009 selling price. Mayer house already hit 3,000 as well. You see, resale already done at 2009, 3,000. In fact, this development, right, their selling price is around 2,900 over dollar per square foot for a brand new launch. And this is something that is considered very attractive because today the market is still, resale market has hit certain price which is the same as a brand new price. That's why I'm saying, right, today brand new and resale market, right, almost similar price. Which one will you want to go for, right? You take for example to see. And just to let you know, right, wait, let me see, show you. Right, so basically if you look at here, the 2-bedroom, right, actually starting from 1.9 million for a 2-bedroom. I want you to understand this, because this is something that I got used to buy property based on this way, right? That means I always like to buy property, right? I want to check my surrounding resale property, has they been so higher? In fact, the resale market, a 2-bedroom today at Seafront and Mayer has sold for asking price, selling price, 2.4 over million. Mayer rise 2.4 over million. The Belvedere 2.5 over million. I'm sharing this with you not about you need to buy Mayer Blue, no need. But next time when you want to buy something in other condos or whatever, you can check what is the surrounding. You want to buy something that is what has been done in the surrounding market. You are buying lower. That means next time what? Whether can sell or not, nobody know. But at least you know one thing. People already paid $2 over million. Now you are buying at below $2 over million. So is it attractive or not? Right? For you to see. For example, a 3-bedroom for Mayer Blue is 2.9. You look at the average selling price of a 3-bedroom is 3.1 to 4 over million. which means that people are willing to pay already today 3 over million. Now you are buying below 3 million. This is something that is interesting because I bought my Martin Modern, which is just nearby here, which I sold. I bought at $2 million. But the 3-room in Rivergate freehold is at 2.9 to 3 million. I asked myself this question: those people who pay 2.9 million, 3 million for Rivergate, next time must they sell higher? Right? But there is always one group of people, if I cannot pay 3 over million, will they come down and buy my one? Will. That's why I sold it for 2.7 million. Will I also make profit? I will. But the 3 over million, will they still make profit? They will. But my strategy is very simple one. Buy with a lower capital one. Right? Got chance to make money, everybody got a chance. It's just that I don't want to come out so much money. I also don't want to take so much risk, right? That's what I want. That's why one of the way that I buy property here is what? Must always play safe. I always want to make sure that, right, I want to buy below what others have what? Paid for. At least I feel safer. I cannot guarantee anyone can make money, but at least I want to buy something below what others have what? Paid for. At least I feel what? Secure. To me, I'm a low risk taker, right? That's why just to really anchor back at those people who really want to join us in 19th and 20th of October, right? For those people who are interested to really look at overseas, just I mentioned to you guys here, how you want to buy cash flow assets. You can actually take a look at this. If you want to ask your agent to show you, you can scan the QR code, and of course your agents can bring you along to take a look if you want to, right? If not, thank you so much for everybody, your attention. I will end here.